Good day. It has been some time since we've had a good face-to-face vlog, ladies and gentlemen, but Geralds is at least attempting to return. Why? Because in recent months I've been getting a little bit more motivated. Oh sure, I still feel a pain in my very soul at the loss and absence of Mizio from my life. But hey, we gotta keep trying to do something, don't we? Well, recently, as of this recording, the awesome fan known as Wizdravad has elected to send me a new graphics card after my original awesome graphics card broke and I had to replace it with a spare that, well, let's just say it's not terrible, but I can't run anything past 1996. Although that is, as we would call in the business, a bit of hyperbole. The graphics card in question is an Asus GTX 760. And that, of course, will allow me to play Alien Isolation, and guess what? As soon as I get the graphics card, I am going to get that review out and completed. Because, well, as an Alien fan, I really want to share what I thought of the game, and, well, as you can imagine, I rather liked it. The game itself is absolutely amazing and actually shows that modern games can actually be more than just walk forward and shoot everything in sight. But I will save my opinion for the review itself. Now, I also intend to get another gun review out. I believe I'm finally going to get out the SKS review. A fan brought it up on the recent video that I put up, and, well, I got to thinking, maybe I could go ahead and do it now. I basically mentioned to him that I was going to wait so that I could get a bit better with the SKS, because I hadn't shot it in a number of years. But I was thinking, well, I could just review it now, because I'm still pretty good with it at about 50 yards. Well, the rifle itself is more accurate than 50 yards, but for me it's a bit harder to shoot any further due to my fairly terrible eyesight. Anything without a scope is almost guesswork. So I'm thinking I might just take it out on the 50-yard line and give you guys a review of it, because the SKS is a really good rifle to say the least, and it's still fairly inexpensive compared to the AKs out there. So I will try to get that review out possibly even next week. As I said, I may be motivated, and I may still be sad, but I'm still the General Lutz. And, well, we're going to continue trying to make a good comeback. The last time I said I was going to have a comeback, a lot of bad shit happened. So now, who knows? Fucking asteroids is going to crash on this house, and this house only. Possibly. You never know. Giant fucking flood. Incidentally, that is more humorous to me, at least, just because recently in Texas there had been a lot of flooding, although there was no flooding over here, and I'm not anywhere near a place where it would flood. But I can just imagine there's a localized weather formation, there's a giant-ass tidal wave that just wipes out the house with me in it. I don't know. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen, because I'd rather not drown to death, or be crushed by a rock to death, or anything to death, because generally that's very unpleasant, to say the least. But in any event, we're going to try to get some reviews out. We're going to try to keep a decent schedule. There's a shitload of games on that list. I'm thinking, you know, after Alien Isolation, there might be a review of Fallout New Vegas. It's a game I wanted to review for a very long time. It's probably my favorite Game Bro Engine game. I don't think Skyrim was Game Bro Engine. I think that was something else. But I like it more than Fallout 3 and Oblivion, that's for sure. Even base New Vegas is vastly superior, but then again, that is because New Vegas is an Obsidian Software game, and Obsidian Software is the greatest of all time. So yeah, Gerald's going to try to come back. Let's just hope I don't get crushed by a rock, or a tidal wave, or a tsunami, or Godzilla decides to exist and crush the house, or hit me with fucking atomic breath. I'm also tempted to do a few movie reviews. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, and you should, because I put out pithy comments all the time, he lied, I've talked about, you know, I'm a big fan of giant monster movies, and really I kind of got back into them thanks to James Rolfe's Godzilla-thon. I'm tempted to do some fuller reviews of Godzilla movies, because James Rolfe really just spends a few moments, hits the high points, and then moves on. And that's mainly because he's got to get through like 30 reviews in a month. And I don't know how he does it. I know I couldn't, that's for sure. But I'm tempted to review some of my favorite Godzilla movies, because Godzilla is, well, an icon, to say the least. And I personally liked Godzilla 2014 quite a bit, in fact. I felt the Hume plot, which, despite taking up a great deal of time, was still pretty bloody good. There's been a lot worse if you've seen the other films. And overall, the Big G is pretty good in this movie. And way better than the 1990s movie, even though I still like the 1990s movie. I think the big problem with the 90s movie, the American Godzilla movie, is, I think, the naming. If he had been called, like, Lizard from the Deep, if they'd done, say, like, a remake of Beast from the 20,000 Fathoms, which was a 50s giant monster movie, and said that this new monster was like that one, I don't think anybody would have had a problem with it. But when you've got Godzilla, you sort of have this expectation of a creature that needs, like, super science to take down. Because Godzilla is usually defeated in every movie he's the villain. But he's usually stood up to whole armies of troops, and he's taken down by some kind of super science. Or he's dropped in a volcano, or something like that. And usually it's implied that he survives, even though he's been defeated. And, with the 90s Godzilla, he was shot down with, conventional weapons, which I think pissed off a lot of people. But if you don't go to see it as a Godzilla movie and just say, okay, remove the Godzilla part, say it's just a monster movie, it's not that bad. The CG hasn't aged as well as it could have, but it's still a serviceable movie. That's the thing. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. There's definitely been some Godzilla movies out there from the original Japanese that have been pretty bloody bad. And I'd even go as far to say that Godzilla 2000 isn't much better than Godzilla 1998 or whatever it was. Just because I think Godzilla 2000 had a lot of problems with it. Mainly the overall moral of, there's a little Godzilla in all of us. It's like, really? Godzilla's smashing around and killing people, and you're trying to get me to empathize with him. I know we go to see these movies to see Godzilla smash shit up, but you don't feel like he's the hero when he's the villain. At least I don't. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But that was really the problem with Godzilla 2000. A lot of the other movies really did a good job making Godzilla cool again. The Millennium series is what it's called after Godzilla 2000. But I think Godzilla generally has a lot of pacing problems. A lot of the G movies have a lot of pacing problems. Godzilla, the American Godzilla did it too, so it's kind of par for the course. The big problem is sometimes the Godzilla movies are really, really cheesy, and then there's some really serious moments. Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, all monsters, or giant monsters all out attack. That is probably my favorite from the Millennium series. It's really good, but there's so many goofy moments, and then there's so many serious moments that you got a mood whiplash. 1 minute, you got some goofy ass shit going on, and then Godzilla nukes an entire fucking street full of people. That scene, by the way, there's a scene in Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, all monsters all out attack, where he literally nukes a street full of people, and you see it. Well, you don't really see it. You see the mushroom cloud going up, and it's like, holy crap! And then it cuts to, like, Baragon looking like a fucking mutated dog. But anyway, this has gone on for long enough. It's me rambling, doing the rambly. Ultimately, Wijnavad, you're an awesome guy for sending me the graphics card. I highly appreciate it. And yeah, we're going to get back to doing reviews unless I get crushed by Godzilla, or a meteor, or a tidal wave, or a tsunami, or I catch the plague. So in any event, this is Jiro Watts wishing you good Alien Isolation, and good SKS, or whatever makes you happy.